Throughout the course of my basketball career, I was never the fastest or the strongest on the court. So I've had to rely on fakes and misdirections to score. In this video, I will show you the ropes on how to utilize fakes and jab steps to increase your scoring average and help out your team. Number 1, less is more. This is something that I've had to learn from my coaches and my trainers, and they have always told me, look, Mark, you gotta stop over-exaggerating your pump fakes. You go way too high with the ball, and that takes more time for you to bring it back down and get into your move or put up a shot. Let's take example Steph Curry.
Look at Curry, man. Oh, yes, he's in his highlight.
You can see him in the game. Sometimes he doesn't even have to move his body. All he has to do is look at the rim, and the defender jumps immediately. Why? Because he's such a great shooter. So, less is more. You don't have to do an over-exaggerated windmill pump fake type stuff. I see that at the younger levels when I watch the freshmen and JV play. They always over-exaggerate those pump fakes, when instead they could have got the defender jumping or going the other way just by doing the same thing, but just less exaggerated, and they could have gotten to the cup faster, or they could have gotten their shot off faster. Number 2. I mentioned in number 1, Steph Curry, and how he can get defenders to jump just by looking at the rim. You know why they jump? Because he's an amazing shooter. Probably the greatest shooter of all time. So, give the defenders a reason to jump. Give the defenders a reason to fall for it. If I were to do a crossover to my right side, and my defender knows I can't go left, he's not going to worry about my left. So I have to be able to score with both hands and be able to shoot from anywhere for the defender to jump, or for the defender to have to guard both sides, and for him to fall for the move. Number 3, basketball is chess. If you've ever played chess, you'll understand that overextending is one of the worst things that you can do. You don't want to mess up your pawn structure because that leaves you vulnerable, right? All that technical stuff. And it's the same thing with basketball. Don't overextend. Don't let your opponent know your next move. You have to be unpredictable, and you have to think a couple moves ahead. When I tell you to to think a couple moves ahead, think about it from the defender's perspective. Let's say the last possession you came down the court and took a right-handed pull-up jump shot and you made it. The very next possession, if you're doing the same thing, he's going to read it. So instead of doing that pull-up jump shot, go for it like you're about to and then cross over. Right? It's just little mind games that you can play. Basketball is chess. Number 4. This is something that I've been very grateful to have my whole life, but I feel like a lot of young basketball players don't implement this into their game. They don't have the ability to score off of both pivot foots. They're very comfortable with the one side, but they can't go the other way. And that's really tragic because that eliminates 50% of your opportunities to score. If you can't go a certain side, if you can't plant a certain foot and then pivot off the other, that's a problem. But ever since I was younger, I've always been able to pivot off of both feet. So that's helped me out a lot in scoring and being unpredictable. So learn to score off of both pivot foots. Learn to catch with 2 and then pick your pivot foot as you catch. Learn how to come across, swing that foot over, right? Have the ability to score off of both pivot foots. Number 5, you need to attack closeouts. I see it all the time. There's so many opportunities to attack closeouts because especially in high school basketball, the defenders aren't as great as the next level. So whenever your team is swinging the ball as fast as they can, defenders are lagging behind, and they have to make up for it by going in a full sprint towards their guy that they're guarding. And oftentimes, that leads them to just getting blown by. But that's only if you're smart. And you think a couple moves ahead, and you just go. Right? You don't even need a fake for this one. Right? You could jab step, do all that other stuff on the other plays, and they could be expecting that. This time, just go through when you attack that closeout. I've had plays as well where somebody will run up with a hard closeout and I'll give them a hard jab step like I'm about to go, and then they start moving backwards and I'm wide open for a 3. Alright, I said there's only 5 tips, but I'm going to give you a bonus one right now. Look for the opportunities to make those fakes. Look for the opportunities to get that jab step going. Because I notice with a lot of young basketball players, they're so busy running their sets, making sure they're doing the offensive concepts, and while that's good, you also don't want to be robotic. Right? Basketball is a reaction-based game, so you got to take what the defense gives you and don't second-guess about it. If the defense is sagging off of you, shoot the ball. If the defense is playing too high up on you, go back door. If the defense is... Right? Take advantage of that stuff. Be aggressive. Also, check out the Discord, top link in the description, if you want to be in a community with over 300 other basketball players. But as always, keep God first. Good luck, bro.